the individuals who propagated this idea are saying it might take 25 to 80 years to achieve their goals. And they are learning in the process. My question is, what becomes of the lives of these young men who are not going to school? The lives of these young men who are stuck on drugs. Some of them recruit as young as 14. Those sponsoring this war, especially in the diaspora, are not doing so voluntarily. They are being compelled to fund this war, because if they do not, their properties back home will be destroyed or their families will be kidnapped for ransom. This is the place we find ourselves. Fellow Cameroonians, today we gather with our hearts full of memories, both joyous and somber. We stand here to honor our past, cherish the good times, and commit ourselves to a future of peace and unity. A mentor once said to me, "Never forget to remember." In the rich tapestry of our nation's history, there are countless moments that bring smiles to our faces. We remember the vibrant markets of Douala, where the air is filled with the aroma of spices and the chatter of merchants. We remember the celebration of our cultural festivals, where traditional dances and music weave a story of who we are. We remember the laughter of our children playing in the streets, their eyes filled with the promise of a bright future. We remember. These are the moments that define us. These are the times we must hold onto with both hands. They remind us of our shared humanity, a common bond, and the beauty of our diverse heritage. But alongside these cherished memories, there are darker times we cannot forget. Times of conflict and war have left scars in our land and in our hearts. Families have been torn apart, communities shattered, and dreams delayed. Yet, even in the midst of such hardship, we have witnessed acts of incredible bravery, resilience, and hope. Today, I stand before you to say, it is time to let go the pain of war. It is time to heal our wounds and rebuild our nation with love and understanding. Let us not allow the shadows of conflict to dim the light of our brighter days. I remember the time where we would go out and play soccer in our communities, associate with friends, and empower and encourage one another. I remember the times where we had no money, but we knew that we would come back to a place called home, and Mom had prepared food that would warm us and keep our bellies full. I remember a time where we would have people from abroad come back home, and we would sit around the dinner table and share great memories. I remember. Today, going back home is a nightmare. Today, most of our young people are on drugs and in bushes. Today, the nation is filled with fear and confusion. The independence that we sought in the early 2016s has led us wandering. We must remember the lessons learned from these difficult times. Let us honor those who have suffered by committing ourselves to a path of reconciliation and unity. We have seen the strength that lies in our unity. Now it's time to harness that strength for peace. Together, let us walk towards a future where every Cameroonian can live without fear, where our differences are celebrated rather than exploited, and where every child can dream freely and boldly. Let us build bridges, not walls, and let our dialogue be driven by compassion and respect. As we remember the good times, let us be grateful for the resilience that has carried us through the bad. Let us look forward with hope, knowing that a united Cameroon is stronger than any force that seeks to divide us. In the spirit of our ancestors, we'll build this great nation. In the spirit of our children, who will inherit it. Let us choose peace over conflict, love over hatred, and unity over division. Together, we can create a future that honors our past and fulfills the promise of a prosperous and peaceful Cameroon. Let us move forward, hand in hand and heart to heart. I remember the opportunity that I had as a child growing up to go to school. I remember the peace that once existed in our community. I'm able to travel, study, articulate, and work to see our young men become great because of the opportunities that I had growing up in Cameroon. I remember the good friends that encouraged me, the good friends that worked with me, the community that supported me, parents in the community that held my hands and made sure that I was doing the right thing. I remember those moments is what I take along with me in life. It's not the resources on the ground. It's not what I hope Cameroon would have given me. It is what I can do for Cameroon, the nation that raised me. And this is a call to every Cameroonian. This is time for you to remember and ask yourself the question, not what Cameroon can do for you, but what you can do for Cameroon. Great people make a great nation. Education is the most powerful tool you can give a human being. War is the most barbaric form to resolve any conflict. And I believe it should be banished from the face of the earth. Because people have used war as a strategy to resolve their differences in the past does not validate war. We've lost thousands of young men and women as a result of this war. It is time for us to remember and also ask yourself the question. In early 2016, you were told that in a couple of months you will gain independence and you will make a trip to Boya. Now, the individuals who propagated this idea are saying it might take 25 to 80 years to achieve their goals. And they are learning in the process. My question is, what becomes of the lives of these young men who are not going to school, the lives of these young men who are stuck on drugs. Some of them recruit as young as 14. Those sponsoring this war, especially in the diaspora, are not doing so voluntarily. They are being compelled to fund this war, because if they do not, their properties back home will be destroyed, or their families will be kidnapped for ransom. This is the place we find ourselves. There are warmongers who have held these two groups of people hostage. And today I want you to remember, and also to take this as a call of duty, to understand that it is your responsibility to liberate your homeland, to provide for Cameroon the kind of future that you want to see. If you desire in the next 5 years to go back home to a peaceful community as you once knew it, a community filled with love. We used to have traditional dances. We had no fear. We would go out and come back 2 a.m., 3 a.m. without any fear in our hearts, or with the thought that you'll be kidnapped or killed or will not make it home. This is the community that we see today. This is the society that we live in today. Young men have been conditioned to live to die. Not to live to fulfill their dreams. Not to live to become someone great and a contributing citizen of society. Young people have been conditioned to live to die. And my message for every Cameroonian is for us to remember where we came from. Yes, we had no control over the resources, but we had a family. We had no control over the government institutions, but we had a home. We had hope. We had friends. We had community. We had love. We had support. We had trust. Human resource is the most valuable resource. We might not have control over the resources in the ground, but we could hold our hands together and think and be able to come up with ideas that help move us forward. That is the Cameroon I grew up knowing. That is the Cameroon that I intend to restore. That is the Cameroon that I hope that we rebuild from now moving forward, where fellow countrymen trust one another, where Cameroonians who speak French and English come together for economic prosperity. Our vision here at CSDP is to ignite hope, peace, unity, freedom, and prosperity for every Cameroonian. Understanding that if it ought to be, it is up to you. Taking 100% responsibility for the destiny of that nation. Because when you take responsibility, you get to the place where you understand that there is no one else to be blamed but yourself for the outcome of your life. Today, I urge every Cameroonian to support this cause, both with your skills and your finances. If you want to see our young people free, if you want to see our land bloom again, this is time for you to jump on this train. Our institution is Nation Builders University. This is where we are helping young Cameroonians to equip themselves with the knowledge that has transformed most developed nations, so that they can go out there and be contributing citizens of society. Your contribution will go a long way to help a young man or a young woman have access to internet, have resources like laptops to connect, so that they can study and empower themselves and be able to integrate with the global trends. It is your responsibility. We funded a war for 7 to 8 years with little or no government support. It is proof that we can come together and put our money and empower our nation and promote unity and promote peace and celebrate diversity. But we anchor this on a common goal for the entire nation. That is what we seek to push for. Cameroonians coming together to better their nation. The future is bright. The good days are ahead of us. They are not behind us. And don't let the memories of the past define us. Don't let the pain of the past define us. Even if you've contributed in the past towards this war, it is time for you to rethink and be able to contribute to build your nation. Even if you've been compelled to keep contributing towards this war, it is time for you to reach out to me, so that we can cooperatively collaborate to help liberate our nation. The young men on the ground have been reaching out to me. They find hope in my messages. They said my message made them understand that they can live again, that they can have a life, that they can live a life without the thought of dying. That life is too sweet to waste your existence in a worthless war full of lies. When a leader stands up and says, we never voted to join French-speaking Cameroonians, that premise is full of lies. When they say the plebiscite never happened, that we are fighting a war based on marginalization, based on colonization, this is full of lies. The entire nation needs help. I'm not downplaying the struggles that the Anglophones have gone through in Cameroon, but I'm saying the entire nation needs help. To he who much is given, much is required. Some of us have been blessed to live in one of the most prosperous nations on earth. Some of us have been blessed to live in Europe and America and other great nations. To he who much is given, much is required. It's not much only in terms of finances, but in wisdom, in exposure, that you can be able to give direction and help young people find hope in challenging times such as this. Your participation and contribution does matter to this cause. There is a link right below. Click that link and contribute. Even if it's $5 or $10 or $100, whatever you deem necessary, it will go a long way to create awareness about what we are doing right here at CSDP. It will help provide resources for the young people that are connecting to study and empower themselves so that they can go on to be contributing citizens of that nation. Your contribution does matter. It will go a long way to bring about this transformation faster. If you are waiting for a government to do this, there is no government that will help resolve this conflict but us, the people. If you're waiting for a United Nation or some other peacekeeping organization to come resolve this conflict in our nation, I'm saying there is no one coming to save us. We are the ones to save ourselves. And cooperatively, speaking with one voice, understanding the global trends and where the world is going, and be able to meet up with the expectations of the future is what we embark on right now. And so I encourage everyone to get engaged. Let go of the past and let's look forward to the future. Our best days are ahead of us. Cameroon has incredible opportunities, but we the people need to understand our civic responsibility. We need to understand our civic duty. This message is a call of duty to every Cameroonian to understand what you need to do to play your own part to make the Cameroon dream become a reality for every Cameroonian, both home and abroad. This is time to take collective action on a unanimous goal that will free our homeland. And in the next 5 years, you will be able to go back home, cherish the good times that you once had with your family and friends, and not get stuck in a cycle of a war that you never know where it would end. This is a time for you to engage, cooperate, speak with one voice. Because when we do not speak with one voice, we will always be governed by someone else. As we stay divided, we will be governed. We might have different opinions, they might sound good, but those who have different opinions always need a mediator, someone outside to hold you accountable and keep you in check. But when you are united, you experience true freedom. Because those who are united indicates they are responsible. And because they are responsible, they are not governed. They are not controlled. But when you are disunited, the opinions that you have, they might be cool. We accept different opinions, but you will be governed by a third party because different opinions will lead to conflict. And when you have conflict, you need someone to help you. So you always be governed and be checked because of the different opinions, because they will clash. And this is very important that we understand the power of unity. And so I take this opportunity today as Americans celebrate and remember those who sacrificed their lives for the freedom that we enjoy in this country. I want to take this as an opportunity to call on every Cameroonian to let go of the past and look forward to the future. Remember the good times that we shared. And that is why God told the children of Israel to remember, to even put pillars to remember the good times that He brought them out of trouble. It is easy to remember past hurt. It is easy to remember the pain. But it is hard to remember the good times and value the good times, the good memories that you once shared. So today, just like God told the children of Israel to plant pillars to remember that He brought them out of Egypt, David remembered the time where God helped him to slay down lions, bears, while he was turning sheep. And he said, because you did this to me, God, I remember that time, God, I will be able to bring down this great giant. Today, I want you to remember the good times. Remember the times that God gave you freedom, that God brought you out of obscurity, that God liberated you from a tragic circumstance that you were about to experience. And remember the good times. God bless you, and God bless Cameroon. All right, if you like this video, you're gonna like this other episode, and you can watch it by clicking right here.